film editing, I'd come on and say happy weekend. Shannon's over there. She doesn't want to go on my camera though. She says she's cooking hamburger. She's cooking some hamburger. Hey, honey, how's the hamburger coming along? She doesn't want to talk. Is it hamburger or hamburglar? Look, there's her. There's Shannon's back, just to prove that she's there. That's good TV, folks. That's good TV. That's what you get around here. A lot of people have been asking me about the Trev Lukather video we put out today on Trev talking about getting kicked out of his band. Yeah, that's kind of a sad thing. He gave me, Chase, how long was that cut? About 30 minutes?
Oh, it was a lot.
Yeah, he wanted to, we didn't want to edit it because, howdy, Boogington Thunderwood. Oh boy. Maria, hi Maria, how you doing, man? Lady, I meant. Hi everybody. Jeanette. Let me read the comments. Oh look, they're laughing their heads off over there. Shan, you're gonna be okay? Do calls need to be made?
Oh, I'm just fine, honey.
Do I have to call the doctors?
No, I'm just fine.
I'm okay, dude. And Moses, hi John. Ben Patterson, hi all. I gotta get the feed on here so I can. There's my feed, so I can read the comments. They're having a party over there. Look, there's Shannon having a party. Shannon, how's it going? Okay over there?
Yeah, party one.
Party. Hi, Danica. Say hi.
Oh.
They're laughing because I put her on. I don't want to feel like she never wants to come on. Hey, brother John. You know how many times I heard brother John when I was, hey Chase, how many times did Mark Farner call me brother John?
I saw it like 5 times at least.
I love Mark Farner. He's such a great interview. You know, there's some guys who really put an effort into an interview, right? They enjoy the space. They love doing it. So part 1 of Mark Farner coming up tomorrow. Okay, Sean Barnes, hello. Daryl Redwood. Hey, Redwood from Cali. Right on. John Eisler. Hey, brother John. Learn more. Welcome to live chat. Remember, am I on the wrong channel here? I just got to make sure I'm on the right channel. Jeanette and Sarah. Hey, everybody. Hi, everyone. Good evening from downtown. Safe and sound. From downtown what? Where are you? There's a few people on here who have become friends through just our live chat. So again, there's Shannon with her dog. A woman and her dog.
Hi.
What are you cooking, Shanny?
Chase wants some spaghetti.
Spaghetti?
Yeah.
Did you say spaghetti? Everyone's down here. You know, we have this open space here, you know, where we have this kitchen over here and this living room over here. We're always here. We have this huge room upstairs we never use. Chase uses it to edit videos. Orlando, right on, safe and sound. John says, that's what he calls me. Believe it or not. He calls everybody brother, fill in the gap. So there you go. The week's been very busy, Mike, because of interviews. Interviews usually disrupt the film process because it's hard for me to change gears. Are you still laughing over there?
Of course not.
Shannon gets into laughing fits and she can't stop. I swear to God, she can't stop laughing. Roof. Daryl Redwood. Sharon Fox. Hey, from Cleveland, home of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Indeed. We're going to do Cleveland, by the way. We're not going to do top bands anymore. We're just going to do top musicians. Jason came up, our writer Jason came up with top bands from Chicago, but of course that excludes, you know, solo performers. You guys, can you hear the pot boiling? Can you hear that? Shannon would say, that's spaghetti. Chase, Shannon makes spaghetti for Chase, and he gets like 3 potfuls or something. Well, Chase, what are you doing? Look, he's having a party over there of one. I feel like I'm not in on the joke. What's going on over there? Shannon, you have a party? Oh my God, she's having a. She won't turn around. Hi, Shan.
Hi.
What's wrong? She starts laughing and she can't stop laughing. What are you doing? See?
Oh, I'm fine.
Yeah, you're fine. I think you need an Ativan or something. What? You can't mention a DRUG on here or you get demonetized. I hear the bubbling, Dennis Castro says. How dare you interrupt my live feed? Matt Lidoff. Matt, you've been on here before. Love your channel. All great rock stories and updates. Be ready for Mike Levine of Triumph this week. I don't think Gil or Rick are doing interviews. My contact with the band for the box set for Allied Forces said, I'll try to get them. And I was under the understanding that they had all three. So I think just Mike is doing it. It's okay. I mean, Gil is the only person that I've not talked to. I've talked to Rick Emmett, I don't know how many times. Hi, Danica. No, she's saying no barking. I love Triumph too. I tried to get Mike, well, first I asked Rick Emmett all the times I interviewed Rick. Hello from New Jersey, Rick. I just interviewed Mark Farner for a second time. And he was great. Yeah, I interviewed both of them. I think, no, not on the same day. I was supposed to interview Kenny Loggins, but Kenny's internet connection was really, really bad. Shannon had a chance to say hi to him because in my 24 years of knowing Shannon, she's never asked to say hi to anybody that I interviewed. And then when she found out it was Kenny Loggins, she said, can I say hi to him? I said, really? You want to say hi to Kenny Loggins? She said, yeah. So she said hi to him, and he said hi back, and then we lost our connection. And then Kenny called me because the protocol for an interview is the person who's being interviewed always has my cell phone number. That's been the case for years in all radio. If anything goes wrong, call this number. So then I'm trying to fix it, and I realize I got a voicemail, and it's Kenny Loggins saying, John, sorry, I lost your connection. And then by the time we figured it out, it's 15 minutes after the hour, and we only had a half an hour, and I said, Kenny, is there any possibility we can do this next week? Because I've already lost 15 minutes, right? And he was really nice about it. It wasn't his fault. So we're doing it on Wednesday. I'm also interviewing Joseph Williams of Toto on Wednesday. I've already interviewed Steve Lukather, and that Trev Lukather interview was done a few days ago, where he let me in on the fact that he wasn't in the band anymore. He said, don't say anything, and of course I wouldn't. Trev and I talked about some vloggers on, people we like and people we're not crazy about on YouTube. Not going to release any names. You can imagine the people you know who he likes. He likes the people I like, and he dislikes the people I dislike. But there's not too many of the people I dislike. I think most people who are doing this on YouTube are just trying to make a living, right? They're just trying to do the right thing. They're not trying to spread. Can you hear my lungs? Because I was running with the dog in the field, 3 kilometers with one dog and 3 kilometers with the other dog. Okay. I've not interviewed Grace Slick. I don't think I've ever tried. Jeanette Insera. Boogington. I just saw The Who on TV where they asked someone from the audience to come up, play the drums. Yeah, that's when Keith Moon passed out, right? That's a famous concert. I had that on bootleg. I used to collect bootlegs. Rick Storm, okay, cool. Daryl Redwood, loved your interview. Richie Furay, you're a great interviewer. Thank you, Daryl, I appreciate that. Boogington Thunderwood, Jeanette and Sarah, yes. Mooney just got himself too done. Yeah, he was. Was it Roger or who asked the audience? I haven't heard it in a long time. That's Danica. It's okay. She can make that noise. Oh, Pete Townsend, yeah. Okay. It's been a long time since I've heard it, but he did a pretty good job. I remember that, and everyone said that. Is that North Carolina? Ashley Taylor. Remember, guys, maybe once or twice a week we do a live video to check in with everybody. Check out the rest of our channel. If you're not familiar with us, we do interviews almost every single day. At least we have a video out every single day. I think Pete did, yeah. Scary Bear. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, please do, because like I said, we have at least a video every day. Oh, the dog's humping that. Our older dog, Romy was humping that thing.
Freaking love that.
I was thinking, I thought he was throwing up, and I looked, and he was just going for it.
Look at poor Rudy's going
Let
through the
nature.
forest over here.
What?
He's going through the forest in the backyard.
Oh, Shannon's referring to our weeds in the backyard. And Shannon asked me to do the yard every single day. It doesn't bug me at all. I don't get mad. Shannon, I don't do the lawn on the weekends. How's the cooking coming along?
It's fine, honey.
Uh-oh, she's getting mad at me. I better run. Let's all run for the hills. She's joking around.
Is this done?
Well, Moon, everyone I've interviewed who knew Keith Moon, Christian Trieber is one who used to be one of their photographers. But everyone, Rick Lee, from 10 years after, everyone I've interviewed that personally knew him were not surprised when he died. They just knew there was a matter of time. I mean, he was trying to get his act together. There was that time he spent with Paul McCartney, for the album release. And I remember going on YouTube, on eBay, and seeing a Who Are You autographed album. When looking at his condition at the time, and plus, this was, 78, Who Are You? 77, 78? That he was in such bad condition at that time in his life, and from the point the album was physically released to the point that he died, which was not long, and it was autographed in blue, those big thick blue that everyone autographs with, and I remember going, that's a fake autograph, because Keith Moon autographed it. Not impossible. Hi from Australia, Paul Maurizio. What time is it in Australia right now? Oh, it'd be morning, right? Because when I interviewed with Graham Goebel of LRB, I interviewed him. It was 7 p.m. my time. It's later than that now. It's 7:48, and it was morning over there. So yeah. Yeah, Lavara. That was Trev Lukather's band. It's sad that they broke up. I mean, it's 11:48 a.m. Thank you. This is, of course, his point of view. I take him at his word, of course. I don't know Trev. This is the first time I've interviewed him. He's quite familiar with our channel, he told me, and likes our channel a lot. And it was a fairly long interview with Trev, where we talked about every single track. I don't do that a lot because it's a lot of work putting one of those together. I just sent it to him today, and I guess he's with his sister Tina in Vegas today. But Trev did tell me, I said, why don't we just release the video of you talking about what happened, since you've released it today? And he said, Maria, it's 6:48. Oh, are you in on the West Coast? Yeah, you're Pacific time. Anyway, he said, let's just wait till tomorrow, because Trev says, really, my Canadian accent, Queen, is strong? Do I have a Canadian accent?
It doesn't sound. I mean, I don't know.
Okay, Chase, come over here. Come over here. Chase is going to Chase edits all the videos. He's 17. He's a great drummer.
Thanks.
Chase is going to tell us who's the coolest person. He edits everything. Who's the coolest person when you've come down for, Andy Kim.
Oh yeah, that was a good one. That was cool.
He came down, he says, Andy Kim's a deep dude. But recently, anybody that, you like Trev?
Oh yeah, I'd say recently it's probably Trev Lukather, but I mean, I like all the guys, but just like someone that I'd actually hang out with, probably Trev, I'd say, yeah.
Excuse me, at the end of the interview, I told Trev, I says, Chase is going to drum for you one day. And Trev says,
Yeah.
bring it on. He said, bring it on. I'm just getting back into shape now of going out there, but I was running with the dog where he was acting like a crazy fool. Crazy. You're in California, right on. Bob Merck. Power Age has to be the most underrated LP. Bob from Scranton. Yes, loved LRB. Our series on LRB was a little long. But I wanted to put it on anyway because I think they're still as much success as they've had an underrated band. So it was really it's the longest series we've ever had with anybody. So there you go. That's our daughter. She's saying no barking. And 7:51, we're going to wind it up near the top of the hour. I just want to say hi. Matthew, thank you. I enjoyed doing the series. I wish I could have got a little bit more from Beeb Birtles. My own fault. I cut the interview short. I had another interview coming up. Beeb I found very interesting. Of course, Graham is just what a brain that guy has, right? But they're all special, and Glenn too. Glenn's a little flippant, like a lead singer would be, but in a very entertaining way. He's such an entertaining guy. They're all very, very interesting. So I kind of enjoyed it. Shannon says she can't wait to come on tonight to say hi to all you guys. It's what?
Hi, everyone.
What kind of dog is that, Shannon?
This is the cockapoo.
And what does that mean, Shannon
It
Edwards?
means 3/4 poodle and 1/4 cocker spaniel, and sheds like crazy.
We have to
Huge shedder.
We have to vacuum every single day.
Every day.
So why doesn't he look like a normal cockapoo, Shannon Edwards?
I don't know.
He's a runt of the litter, I think.
He is, but he's very cute, and he kind of looks like a pony.
Maria says hi. Maria Day, she's in California.
Hi.
So Shannon, is this your office wear, Shannon?
It is.
She usually wears a dress.
I just want to say thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, so much for supporting John and his channel, and
our Havanese dog who barks too much.
this is the one that barks a lot, but still very cute.
Anybody else have a dog that barks a lot? This dog, if we're coming downstairs, by the way, is this normal for you guys? If we're coming down, you want me to bring you in here? There you go. If we're coming downstairs in our own house, that dog will get spooked out. And Maria says, you're welcome. That dog will get spooked out and bark at us as if we're coming to kill him. Like a big, angry bark. But look, he was running with me in the field, and he's tired.
He's pretty tired out.
Hello, prog rock dude. Oh, yeah, you've been on here before. So it's nice to have you on here, Shannon.
Thanks.
John just jumped on. Okay, hold on. Sorry, I'm going to read your... This is from John McKinley. John just jumped on. Can you tell us what you have on your schedule this coming week? I only have, well, not only, Kenny Loggins, because the interview last week did not turn out because of his internet connection. I kept telling him I'm plugged into the wall. I'm plugged into the Ethernet. He was very nice about it. Uriah Springer, hello. Oh, Teddy Bates says, my Jack Russell barks always. But aren't Jack Russells known for doing that? I think Havanese are known for doing that too, though.
Not always.
No?
Havanese are not known.
Anybody have a Havanese?
But just this one.
But Jack Russells, by the way, how's your Jack Russell? Is it a handful? Because everyone says Jack Russells. What's that name of the Wishbone? Wasn't that a Jack Russell, that show? Yeah, someone said that they had that dog was a handful, even though it was cuter than anything you've ever seen in your life. Because Jack Russells are beautiful dogs. So, yeah, I'm looking at them right now. Look at them. Sorry about them. Look at. There we go. Let the games begin. You get sports on this channel. Oh, they almost went at it. Sorry about the camera. Oh, it's a commercial for The Good Witch. I've never watched it. Does anybody watch that show? I don't get that show. Is she really a witch? She must be, The Good Witch. She's a good witch. Hence the title, John Beaudin. Duh. Okay. Calvin Bieler, hello from Cleveland, Ohio. Hi, Calvin. Nice to have you on here. Uriah Springer, Rock and Roll fame. What do you think? I know what they're doing. I'm not going to balk at what they're doing anymore. I know they're going to have R&B acts and rap acts. It's like what I said this before. What creates pain? Not accepting what is. Sorry, I'm going to sneeze here. I don't want to sneeze. That's what they're doing. So every single year when a new a host of nominees come on, I go, well, Tristan Beaudin, yeah, I should track him down. Because, yes, he did play with Kenny Loggins. But there's that time, didn't someone ask me, what about that time that Shem filled in for Tris on a Kenny Loggins show? I will ask him about that. So I have Kenny, I think, for half an hour. Usually an artist of that ilk, you don't get longer than an hour. I was surprised when I had John Anderson for over an hour. But I was his last interview and or perhaps his only interview that day. And he had just lost his power. That's why the internet connection was so bad. I should really try to talk to John Anderson again. Okay, I got a lot of questions. Queen says, I have 2 gorgeous Rots. Have you seen that show on A&E or wherever about Rottweilers? They barely ever bark. They're well behaved. Yeah, but is that because of you though? Did you work on that with the dogs? My cats don't bark. Billy Rossi. Lawrence Mark. So does Mark still live in Michigan? Yes, he does. I don't know if he's still in Flint. I think he's... who's the guy who set me up with Mark? Is he? Uriah Springer, that's cool. Emilda Talagon. Watching from Rome, Italy. Wow. How's COVID there? How's things going in Italy? Queen says they bark when they play, though. Yeah, so do ours. Bob Merck. Hey, Bob, how you doing, man? He is busy all the time. Well, like I said, I've got Joseph Williams I've got John Hall of Orleans. He's got a brand new album out on Thursday. I don't have anything till Wednesday. Kenny Loggins on Wednesday. It's an if still. We've got to circle back and ask him. I'm using circle back way too often lately. I do that. I'll find a new term that I haven't used in a while. Used to be one of my 80s terms. Oh, Shannon. So we're going to confirm that hopefully tomorrow. Excuse me. And like I said, Joseph Williams. That's all this week so far. Randy Schiffer, the interview went really, really well. You know, it shows that, people sometimes they'll say, oh, he's just a Republican or whatever. Like, oh, I don't care. If you're a decent person. And Mark, we talked about race issues during the interviews, and Mark says, I have nothing against about anybody of color, which I think sometimes people will assume he does for whatever reason, Like saying all Republicans feel that way. That's not true. That are racist. That's crazy. So, and Richie Furay is a Republican. I'm a liberal, but, and we talked about God, and I talked to Mark Farner about God. I'm not remotely religious. I'm more of a Buddhist type of guy. But these are big topics for these people. I'm going, how can you not ask them about something like that? Don't talk politics. I try to stay away from it. But I like Richie Furay and Mark Farner are 2 of my favorite interviews that I've done. I've enjoyed spending time with them. I won't talk politics with them, and that's okay. And maybe if I did, it'd be fine. So people always bring in the politics of going, well, aren't you a liberal? I'm going, I am, but I'm a Canadian liberal. Oh, Bob Merck just gave us $25.
Nice.
Thanks, Bob. Shannon's going to come and say hi and thank you in her own. Look, she got to put the dog down. It's a whole affair. It's a whole thing. I'll buy Shannon a sarsaparilla.
Thank you so much for supporting us. Appreciate it so much.
And that's all she has to say about that. Okay, bye.
Oh,
Thanks,
okay.
Shannon.
Thanks.
Thanks. That's nice, Bob. You're always very
Thank
generous.
you.
Appreciate that. Thanks for the show, John. Yeah, thanks. Thank you, Bob. That's really nice. I always say you don't have to, but we appreciate it if you do. And we put every cent on Super Chats to advertising. And we're starting a campaign on Thursday. I've tried for Eric Carmen, Matthew, and I've tried for Eric Carmen because I'm an Eric Carmen fan. I love the Raspberries. Go All the Way. I still have that album downstairs. The one with Go All the Way on the blue cover, where they all look kind of weird and they're all kind of out of focus. So anyway, that's that. I have an interview with Eric Carmen downstairs in '75 when he just left to go solo. Well, when he went first solo album, it was All By Myself, Never Gonna Fall in Love Again. Ricky and the Tooth. Anybody know that reference? Ricky and the Tooth from that album. So anyway, Len Tucson, who was my former boss, who's that reel-to-reel that's always beside me, that big reel-to-reel Studer, very expensive. Most expensive thing I own is outside my car. He gave me the interview when he sold me the reel-to-reel. Pat Travers, I have not underrated. You are right, Alan. Randy Schiffer, to quote the late great Dr. John, how come my dog doesn't bark when you come around? Sorry, too much running with the dog. Matthew Spital, still smells like raspberries on it. Yeah, what are you talking about, Eric Carmen? Cough hiccup. That's kind of what I just did. Leland Sklar would be a great interview. I've tried twice. That's okay. If I ever talk to someone who really knows him, I think Leland might not be as motivated. Maybe he just doesn't know. Maybe he was just busy that day. Leland's a good guy. Matthew Spital, Jimmy Einer, no, never have. Tom Damelin, any progress getting the Henry Diltz back? I haven't. I asked the lady, she's an Aussie, who connected us the first time, and I asked her to, but she's been very busy, I know. So I know her quite well, so I can talk to her. Queen says, oh, I see, he's just super behind in the chat. Mark, I'm very behind. Bob Merck, when Helen died, really? Are you talking about Helen Reddy? You guys I may be talking about yourselves. I've not interviewed Phil Kagi. Played a little bit of his stuff, though, when we were doing New Age music. I know he's not a New Age artist. He's more of a Christian artist. I understand, but he had some instrumentals that I played. So that's the Henry Diltz story. I'll go back. I'll circle back. I'm using that word too much. Fender, Stratocaster, Telecaster. Yes, Supertramp would. I think Supertramp will get nominated in the next few years. I think Supertramp's in the next 10 years, but they'll be dead. No, maybe not 10 years, but I'm just afraid of some of these artists that should get in. That's the qualifications should be later. Bob Merck, my goodness. David Gilmour would be a great interview. It would be great to have him. Trev Lukather told me a story about David Gilmour when he was doing a show at, I think, at the LA Forum. And he wasn't seeing anybody backstage, but Steve wanted to see him, Steve Lukather, Luke. And he brought Trev with him. There's a picture. Do I have it? No, it's in my other computer. Where he only let one person backstage. And they were expecting all these people backstage, and Trev thought, well, I'm never going to I'll probably have a chance to say hi to him, maybe. And there was no one backstage. It was just David Gilmour and his family, Steve Lukather, and Trev, and maybe someone else they brought with them. So, yeah, David Gilmour wants to see Steve. Well, Steve Lukather and David Gilmour know each other. John Zeka, who's a friend who produces Bobby Kimball, knows Mickey Thomas quite well. So I'll hit him up. And maybe we can get Mickey Thomas to tell us about his first hit with Elvin Bishop, Fooled Around and Fell in Love. No hard feelings. Hey, Matthew, you're the man. Ricky and the Tooth. I can't sing. Okay, my wife, Helen. Oh, I see. Bob Merck, of course. Sorry, Bob, yeah. It's hard for me to keep track of everybody sometimes. Starry Bear. Are you familiar with Gail Ann Dorsey, bassist, singer? She was pretty tight with Bowie. No. Your puppy is sweet. Thank you. This guy here, sorry about the moving around. This guy here, hope you can see him. Yeah. He is, how old is Rudy, the Supertramp song? How old's Rudy, Shan?
A year and a half.
Rudy it'll be 2 years in October.
2 years in October. Here's Danica, our autistic wonder girl. Hi, say hi. There you go. She had her birthday. She just turned 23. That's the balloons back there. Sorry about the moving around camera. Yeah, Chris Squire, you're right. Fender Stratocaster Telecaster. James Bashir, good evening. Hey, James. I remember you, of course. Toots, hey, Toots. Hello, Sir John and family. Oh, Prague Rock Dude. Danica, happy birthdays. Prague Rock Dude says happy birthday. Yeah, you're very special. 23. I can't believe she's 23, eh, Shan? We had her a year after we met. Like really fast. I gotta come on down here a little bit because my back's killing me. Someone the other day, you guys will get a kick out of this. One of our, you see the door, that's the laundry room, the one that's dark, and the one beside it's for the basement. But during a broadcast, the basement door was open about this much, right? And I had a broom that was upside down, a red broom. I just put it upside down because I was in a hurry to go downstairs. And someone said, there's someone staring at you from, like, you know, if I wanted to make something viral, you do something like that, but I can't do that. I can't do stuff like that. I just can't. You know what I mean? Pretend there's a ghost in your family. I think that's bad karma for one thing. I think that'll bring a ghost in your. Yeah, Ronnie Parker, you're right. We were just listening to Sweet Home Alabama on. I used to run a radio station called Rock History Book. Rock History Book started, that's the other channel I know we have, the documentary style channel. Rock History Book used to be a 60-second Today in History feature syndicated across the country and hosted by my friend Steve Burgess, the guy who gave me all the interviews. It didn't go down that well. I think we only had like 25 stations, which at the time, because anything that's Today in History is too intensive. We've thought of doing it on the Rock History Book channel, the documentary types channel, but we realize it's just too, I mean, it changes every year. Today in History is, yeah, keep that open if you don't mind, Chase, because of the light. So anyway, we decided not to do it. So why did I get on there? I don't know. Birthday blessings to Danica from Arkansas. Rhonda, happy birthday. Oh yeah, Steve Ferris. He would be a good interview. I don't know how to track him down. Jason, I do like Meatloaf, yeah. And of course, Jim Steinman was a big part of that, and Jim just passed away. Paul, you probably missed it, Paul Maurizio. We were just talking about Mickey Thomas. John Zeka, who produces Bobby Kimball of Toto, Formula of Toto, knows Mickey quite well, so I'll ask him to hook us up. I keep forgetting to talk. I mean, I talk to John on a regular basis, John Zeka. Hey, Shan.
Yes.
Toots asked, how did you catch such a pretty wife, Sir John? Did you play the Robert Downey Jr. JR card? Ha ha ha.
We didn't really think he started looking like Robert Downey Jr. till much later.
No. And I don't really anymore. I think I looked a little like him, but I wouldn't, if you would have put me beside him at any time in my life,
I think it was your
no one would have thought that.
I think it was your Ford Probe, your car.
Oh, I had a Ford Probe, yeah. The new Mustang came out the same year, and I hated the way the Mustang looked. And my friends all gave me a hard time because I bought a Ford Probe instead, which I loved, one of my favorite cars, but it wasn't fast, right? The real sports car was that generation, what was it, 92? Sorry, I just spit there. I forget what year that was. No, 94. Was it 94? I forget. Just kidding, friends. Mark says, happy birthday, Danica.
Happy.
She is so wonderful. Happy birthday. Jason says, happy birthday.
Happy.
Matthews Patel, have you read Miles Goodman's book? Some of it, yes. Not all of it. I thought I was going to interview him, but it didn't happen. I've interviewed him once. Randy Schiffer, do you remember the band Silver? Yeah. What was their song? It was really poppy. What's it? Moonlight Shalala? Isn't that the song that had something like that? What was the name of the single? Yeah, I had the album, actually. I bought it deleted. 1987. Would not like to interview. I'm pretty up for the challenge for anybody. I don't let, everyone thinks I wouldn't interview Ted Nugent. Of course I'd interview Ted Nugent. Why not? I think he's a little out there, but You know, there used to be a saying. I'm not going to say it. I can't say that. There went. Happy New Year, Danica from James. Happy New Year.
Happy.
Yeah, New Year. Happy birthday. Fenders, Stratocaster, Telecaster. I just like saying that out loud. Seems to me it's a wonderful to have a couple who loves music just like you. Well, Shannon likes very different music than me, but we meet with the '80s music. You know, I like a lot of '80s pop. Like she likes George Michael. I like George Michael. Johnny hates jazz. Tears for Fears. You know, all that. Go West. All that stuff. Oh, the Waitresses Band, yeah. We just played their Christmas song on the radio. Teddy Bates, yeah. Glass Tiger, I think so. I've told you are you okay?
Oh yeah, I was gonna say.
I told you the Glass Tiger. I interviewed Glass Tiger when I was syndicating the Cross Canada Report across Canada. And we had like 42 stations across the country. Couldn't get Toronto, but when I was trying to get Coke as a sponsor, I went and I was invited to do an interview with Glass Tiger when they were doing their photo shoot after, what is it called, Thin Red Line was released. Don't Forget Me When I'm Gone I think Someday was already a hit at that point. And they were doing a photo shoot, and I remember looking at Alan Frew's eyes and thinking, and I've told this story before, sorry, I'm going, I'm not into guys, but I'm going, he's got really green eyes. He's got the most beautiful eyes. Then I met Shannon. What color were your contact lenses when I met you?
They were green.
Yeah, so she had and then I said, oh my God, you got eyes like Alan Frew of Glass Tiger. And she says, they're contacts, John. And Alan Frew's eyes would have been contacts too. I went, oh, okay. Dream shattered. I've read part of Dan Peek's. I've not read America. But I interviewed Dan Peek and I interviewed Jerry Beckley of America. She didn't really sing. Danica doesn't really sing because singing is an abstract thought for some autistic Asperger, or as they say in England, Aspergers. Not making fun of that, it's just how they say it. I think Miles Trotter, I think Paul McCartney can release music till he's blue in the face. That's great. I listen to his new stuff. Toots Haywire. What was their big song? One of them, was it Dance Desire? What was the name of that song? Matt Minglewood. Matt Minglewood, I think, came to Miramichi Valley High School. I think. What's that other band from Nova Scotia? They came to our high school. East Coast Blues. Oh, Toots, you're just getting them out there. No, they're Paul. They're talking again. I think it's tempered with Ann and Nancy Wilson. I think that they're cautious with each other, but they want to get along. Ann's releasing new stuff. Nancy is. Heart will come back together. They haven't said it wouldn't, which means it will. Mark, I can't see that. Termal? Kim Mitchell's on this channel. We've interviewed Kim, and a lot of it's on our Canadian channel, Rock History Canada. Bloomington Thunderwood. John, have you ever spoken with anyone from Pursuit of Happiness? What's the lead guy's name? Thin blonde hair. I'm an adult. No. No, I haven't. That guy, whatever his name is, he's a Facebook friend of mine. Seems like a cool guy, but I haven't thought of him. If I don't think of stuff for a long time, it leaves. Isn't it interesting? Real people I forget. Bad Boys for Haywire. I can't have, by the way, people say, why don't you do a live feed for a Canadian channel? I can't. I don't have 1,000 subscribers. I might now. Mo Berg, that's his name. Thank you. From A Pursuit of Happiness. I've never listened to Sea Level, no. I'm listening to, every time a West Coast singer comes on, I'll always click on it, but I'm usually the old 80s yacht rocky stuff. They didn't call it that back then. I'm almost always disappointed. I always go, yeah, A lot of it sounds the same. You know, a lot of it's under the radar for being hits. Some of it was, of course. I mean, there was a lot of big yacht rocky stuff in the 80s, but the people under the radar, they didn't, I don't know. A lot of it sounds the same. Cigarette Tangle. I don't know what that is, Toots. Tangle. Paul Rizio. Thanks, John. I could ask a million questions. Wish I was a radio DJ. It's not as exciting. Shannon, you sat in with shows with me. How exciting was that?
A lot of fun.
Have fun.
No, it wasn't. Well, you just like my company
Always.
because I'm a cool guy.
Always love your company.
Shannon's the best. Unless when she's asked me to do the lawn. How many times this weekend have you asked me to do the lawn, Shannon? How many times?
You mean coming from the back door, maybe 6?
I always tell her I always do the lawn. I don't do it on the weekends.
You do it on Monday mornings.
I usually do it Monday or Tuesday. Oh.
Monday's a good day.
Monday's a good day to do them.
It's a great day.
James Briggs. I told the story before. My friend Stephen was dating this lady. She was an exotic dancer. She was very, very beautiful. And it was at a time when my first marriage wasn't really doing that well. And I could tell this girl liked me. And I went, wow, she actually likes me. That's cool. And, but I was married. And one night she called me after her dance thing. I was doing an all-night show. And she said, hey, you want some company? So I said, well, I'm married, but I'm not dead. So she came to the radio station. It was 96 K-Light in Edmonton. And she sat in with me, and she was talking, and she got so bored. No, I didn't do anything. But she just said, this is what you do? This is it? We were playing records back then. We had 3 rows of record techniques, the famous radio station techniques turntables. She thought it was so boring. She was really pretty. She was a pretty girl. Everyone asked me about, I got to do something on Saga. I'll get asked, Fender, I get asked that all the time. Jason Michael Free, will Buckingham's rejoin Lindsey Buckingham? I think he will. I really do believe that they'll, one more kick at the can, I think they'll do it. Oh, look, 60 Minutes is on beside me. Q the Lost. I'm a classic rock DJ in Louisiana. Love your channel. Hey, man. Cool. How long you been doing it, by the way? I'm curious. I'm in the process of wanting to interview some classic rock DJs to comment on some albums that turned 50. How long you been doing it? Fit to be tie-dyed. James Briggs, just reading a book on the Guess Who. Oh, cool. Miles Trotter, do you think you could interview John Sebastian? Love and Spoonful, yeah, and welcome back. Welcome back. I'd like to. I'll see if I can get a hold of him. I'm in the process of trying to lock down, because he's handled by the same person who does Mark Farner, who I just interviewed for a second time, trying to lock down Felix Cavalieri of the Rascals. So that's a major priority for me. Oh, Cigarette Dangles, The Pursuit of Happiness. Was that an album of theirs? I never owned any of their stuff. Toots. Randy Schiffer, Sea Level is Chuck Lavelle, kind of jazz rock, Allman Brothers. Oh, okay. Boogington Thunderwood. I did a gig in 91 at the Riverport Amphitheater in St. Louis, and BTO were also on the bill, but most of the stage lineup was from the Guess Who. Oh, cool. Yo, he answers emails? Okay. I will get a hold of him. He's always been a cool interview. He's like Stephen Bishop in that way, of there's a wink in his eye. And I'm going to try to track down Stephen Bishop. On and on. It might be you. There's a song called Little Italy. That was a B-side of one of his singles. Might have been On and On, or I forget what it was. That was the best thing I've ever heard him do. Shaka Khan's on it. Listen to it. Check it out. It's a beautiful song. Oh, it's gorgeous. Oh, Sue Fields. That's kind of cool. Roger Fisher. I thought Roger Fisher was just a wonderful interview. Really, really nice interview. Cue the Lost. Why don't you text me at... I'd like to maybe set up an interview. I need a lot of sound bites for a lot of different people. Plus, we could talk about your career. On this channel, under the About page, my email address is just there. It's just John Beaudin at iCloud.com. Email and we'll set up an interview. There's a whole bunch of, the thing about DJs is that we don't get interviewed that often. We do a lot of interviews, but we don't get interviewed that often. So usually when I'll ask an announcer if they want to get interviewed, 95% of the time they'll say yes. I'll go, it's kind of nice someone wants to feature me, And it's refreshing to be interviewed sometimes. A few people who do blogs have interviewed me, and I thought it was just like this though, for the most part. But it's refreshing. Daniel, hard to get interviews because the musicians hate to be interviewed, like Don Henley. Well, I'm friends with Don Henley's wife here on Facebook, and I've actually talked to her a few times. She's a very nice lady. Grace Slick, John Deacon. I interviewed Lenny Zakatek from the Alan Parsons Project days. He sang the most songs with the exception of Eric Wolfson. And he was in a short-lived band with John Deacon. Said he was just a wonderfully interesting man. Oh, Boogington. Stephen Bishop's voice, he has a young voice, eh? A few people I've interviewed have old voices just because of the luck of the draw. Some people, when they get old, they kind of sound like this. Alan White sounds like that. I've said this many times on this podcast. I'm going down. I'm slipping down to my seat a little bit more every time. Slipping down. Anyway, I'm getting comfortable. Boogington, thanks for that. I didn't know that. Starry Bear. Here is one out of left field. Interview Mike Post. Oh, yeah. I wonder if he's available. I'd love to soundtrack stuff. Bon Ellie. Nice to talk to you. Why is radio so bad now? It's because I'm still in radio. I work in Vancouver. I live in Calgary, but I've been on the air in Vancouver since 1990. Hi, Danica. 1990. Straight through. I'm lucky. Working for the same company, which was Chum, then CTV bought Chum, then Bell Media bought CTV. I've survived all that. The radio station I'm on right now, I'm the last of the crew from 92 that bought that station I'm on now. I know that's a lot of dates, but I was on their AM station, then I went on their FM station. It's because radio's trying to survive, and what do I say? I have a show. I'm not on weekends. Used to be. I used to work 7 days a week with Voice Track. It's because I think things are just being handled by a head office, which is a financial thing. And people bitch about that, but I wouldn't say I would do anything different if I owned the company. It was my money. They're just trying to save money. And there's not as much radio. There's not as much money in radio as there used to be. DJs don't pick their own shows. Some stations they do. Some small Canadian, American stations they get a chance to. But we have a thing called distinct in radio. Our classic rock guy would know this. There's different words for it, but in Canada we call it a distinct factor, where a radio station sometimes will play 800 songs, sometimes 600 songs. Distinct means how many different songs do you play in a week? And a classic rock station, it just depends. Through the years it's changed, would be like 12 to 1,600 songs. Our classic rock station had 2,600 songs, the one that I programmed called Rock History Book. But that was rare because we played a lot of stuff from different decades. So there you go. Have you interviewed Bachman Turner Overdrive? I've interviewed Randy Bachman and Jim Clench, who used to be with April One, and then replaced Randy Bachman. Well, not really, because C.F. Turner became the lead guitarist. and Jim Clench is the bass player, so technically he didn't replace him. So 2 people. Ever listen to Much Free? No, but I sat beside Paul Rogers at a concert once. It was a soft seat. Well, it was just tables. It was Alfie Zappacosta. It was Vancouver. It's strange. This never happened before in 38 years in radio. Alfie came here to Calgary, and look him up. He's one of the most underrated singers in Canadian history. Zappa, Z-A-P-P-A, Costa. Alfie Zappacosta. So remember, Shan, Alfie slept at our house?
Sure do.
Yeah, we had a fun time with Alfie. He was a good guy. Anyway, he slept at our house here in Calgary because there was a problem with their hotel suite. I said, Alfie, sleep at our house. Not like he couldn't afford it or anything. I said, sleep at our house. We got lots of room. He said, sure. And I said, but he had his manager, Ann, with him. And I said, tell her to come. We'll party. We'll have fun. We did. So I introduced him on stage here in Calgary, slept at our house, and then he drove back to Edmonton because he used to be in Toronto. He lives in Edmonton, still does. And then I said, I'm going to Vancouver in a couple of days. I got to do a meeting with Chum, the company I work for in Vancouver, because I was working for a radio company here and a different company in Vancouver. That would never happen now, but anyway. And he said, how long are you going to be in Vancouver? I said, I'm going to be there for like 2 days. He said, why don't you introduce me in Vancouver? I said, what? He said, I'm playing Vancouver while you're there. I said, sure. So I went and introduced him on behalf of the Vancouver station. And Paul Rogers was there, because Paul Rogers, I don't know if he still lives in Vancouver, but did then. There you go. There's my long-winded story. Henry Lee Summer. Henry Lee Summer's dead, isn't he? Didn't he die? Cough hiccup. There's a name for you. Shannon.
Yes?
Can you take my beer out of my frozen beer out of the freezer?
Sure.
Because it'll be very frozen. How frozen will it be? Well, it's been an hour and a half in the freezer. Johnny might not be having beer tonight. It's the weekend, so I'm allowed to have beer.
No, it's not frozen.
Oh, it's frozen. When you open it, you can tell it's frozen. You can't tell when it's closed. Right, guys? Anybody who knows beer? No, don't put it in there at all. Please, just leave it out. Please leave it out. Oh, John Potton just gave us $20. Shannon.
Thank you.
Thanks, John. Appreciate that. It's very kind of you. Just wants to say hi to you and your family. John, that's so sweet of you. You're always a big support. Thank you so much. So no, I haven't interviewed Dennis Henry Lee Summer. I did buy that album, though, with the hit on it there. I forget what it was called. I was a music buyer for retail from 84 to 2010, and I can answer why radio is bad. The internet, simply enough. No money and promotion anymore. Yeah, well put. Lindsay Stormster, I'd really like to hear John Farnham's take on the Little River Band. John Farnham is very hard to get. I've been told that. Not by the LRB guys, by a few people in the circle. Too many, Spacey, I can't say your name. Too many classic rock stations play the same songs over and over again. Very true. That's that distinct factor I was talking about again. Some classic rock stations, the distinct factor, different songs per week, is as bad as 800, 600, sometimes lower. It's ridiculous. And classic rock also got into the newer decades. Classic rock went into the 80s. It's been that way for a while, though. It's nothing new. I would like you to interview Jeff Downs. I'd like to as well. That's from Fender. Jason, what do you think about Huey Lewis in the 1980s? I loved him so much. Loved Huey Lewis. Like, truly one of my favorite artists from the 80s. I'd like to interview him. I'm not sure if his ear problems take him away from interviews. Oh, I never heard him do Paul Rogers doing John Lennon's Imagine. Oh, is that right? What was the station in Moncton, CKCW? I met brother Jake Edwards there in 1977. I was with someone from CFAN, the local radio station, Jim Matheson, and we went to see Seals and Crofts in Chilliwack together. That is when I bought Little Queen by heart. Toots, Same old crap by the clock. Yeah. But Henry Lee Summer is dead, isn't he? Did I not do an obituary before we turned into a YouTube channel? I think I did. I've never, Randy, I've not interviewed Russ Ballard, no. Henry Lee Summer is alive? Is he? Really? I thought he died. Okay, not that I doubt you, but I'm doubting my memory. Chase, can you look up Henry Lee Summer on? I thought he died.
Nope.
He's not dead?
Nope.
Thank you. Sorry, my bad. A Rick Storm, I will not. I miss Chum FM. Yeah, I worked for Chum, the famous radio company, for quite a few years. But then they evolved right into CTV, then evolved into Bell Media, and that's where I work now. Used to be QMFM, now it's Move 103.5. Paul Rizzo, it's $5. Thank you, Shannon.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, John and Paul. Appreciate that. It's nice of you. Fran Sheehan doesn't have internet from Boston. This is according to Barry Goudreau. I talked to Barry and I said, you think I could get Fran? And he says, no, he doesn't even have the internet. And I don't even think he has a cell phone. Well, he wouldn't if he doesn't have the internet, he doesn't have a cell phone. So, and he hurt his hand. Gary from Boston, yeah. I'm doing Fran Cosmo in a month or two. Fran and I have talked since Barry Goudreau and Jim Mastia. And he just said, oh, can we do it a little later? And I'm going, oh, no problem. He said, circle back. There's a word again, terms. And I said, no problem. I wasn't sure what he meant by that. And he said, well, I'd like to promote something, so I'm working on some stuff. So when he and Brad Delp were on stage together, it was amazing. To me, that was a great stage. And no, it wasn't third stage. Dennis Castro, Henry Summer is still alive at 65 years old. Rough around the edges? Yeah, he seemed that way. He looked like my brother. When he came out, I remember thinking, my brother looks like that. My brother's dead now. Do you think John Sebastian would be difficult to get a hold of? I'll try. Shannon, can you email me John Sebastian so I don't forget, or text me?
Of course.
Thank you. I'm interviewing Joseph Williams of Toto on Wednesday, and probably Kenny Loggins on Wednesday afternoon. Kenny Loggins has a floating appointment on Wednesday afternoon, so we're going to see if he can do it then. We tried it last week, but he had a bad internet connection. It was very, very nice. And then I'm interviewing John Hall of Orleans, Dance With Me, on Thursday. James Briggs, you saw Stevie Ray Vaughan, Huey Lewis, but Stevie Ray Vaughan was the opener. Okay, cool. Paul Rizzo, thanks a lot, buddy. I appreciate that. I didn't know that, Matthew, about Michael McBride, second drummer for the Raspberries, passed away. I don't know, Lucid Dreamer. I don't know. I don't have an opinion on that about the industry. Unless he died in the last hour. I tried for Jack Blades, fell through. Tommy Shaw, I never tried Starry Bear. Oh, Cough Hiccup. Yeah, he's from your. How do you say that? Utica? Is it Utica? I watch a lot of crime shows on the ID network, and I get to, there's always a small town. I'm pretty good with U.S. names because I love the U.S. But now and then I'll come up with one. I'll go, oh, I never knew how you say it that way. Huey's hearing, yeah. Oh, you got to see Brad Delp? Right on. John De Silva. Can you fly? I'm just kind of curious. I think that's just a rhetorical question, but can we fly to America? Can we do that yet? Shan?
I don't think so.
I don't think we're allowed to.
No, it's kind of hard even to
It's so weird because the bulk of our audience is in the U.S. Like really, like 85% are in the U.S. Maybe 80. Love the good U.S. of A. But mind you, it's rock and roll. It's universal. It doesn't, it's not about being Canadian or... Well, interestingly, when I was talking to Trev Lukather, and I don't tend to do this about Steve Perry, is I said, put in a good word for me if he ever asks you about me, right? And because there's a possibility Steve Lukather will see the interview I did with Trev Steve Perry, because Steve Perry's like a second dad to Trev Lukather, and that's why he's on their new album. And was there almost every day for some of the recording, some of the stages of the recording. So I didn't say, Trev Lukather, get me an interview with Steve Perry, but I said, if he ever asks about me, and he said, John, that goes without saying. So he doesn't do a lot of interviews, you're right. Paul Rizzio, thank you. It's very nice of you. Mike Trotter, take it easy, man. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate that. Oh, BD, is that right? That was your favorite lineup? I've got to go here pretty soon, guys. John K. of Steppenwolf. Shannon, can you text me John K. Just, I'll know who it was.
Of course.
I've tried for Dennis DeYoung. Their promoter is very vague with me, and I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I made him angry for something, but he's always being coy with me. And I'll ask, hey, is Dennis DeYoung doing interviews this time? And he said, I hope so. And I don't know why. I've never had that kind of non-rapport with someone, but maybe he doesn't mean anything by it. Because you might think, well, that means nothing. But before, when I was trying to get an interview, I'll say, is he doing interviews? Well, he only does a few. Okay, but can I get an interview? We have 81,000 subscribers. It's not like we're a small channel. We're more than big enough to get Dennis DeYoung. And he says, he's only doing so many interviews. And I said, again, a few weeks later, I said, so any luck now? He's only doing so many interviews. I'm going, do you not like me, or like what? Crazy. I've interviewed not the main guys from Chicago. Jeff Coffey. We're going to interview Triss. I've talked to a few of them, but not interviewed them. I've got an interview with Peter Cetera, which is not mine, but I own it now. My friend gave it to me right after he left Chicago. I've had intercourse. Yeah, I've had intercourse with Chicago. Shannon, I've had intercourse with Chicago.
I heard that.
That's not right. It's not right. I've chatted with Danny Serafin of Chicago online a few times after the Chicago documentary. I asked him. He almost decided to do an interview, and then it didn't happen. So Neil Donnell, I've interviewed, who's their new lead singer, but none of the original guys. Diesel Down, Robert Downey Jr. stunt double. I don't get that a lot anymore. I'm just aging, and he's a Hollywood star. Man, 5 years ago, it was crazy. Plus, I don't dye my mustache anymore. And no, I never dyed my hair. My God, I don't know why people are convinced I dye my hair. I don't dye my hair. My dad had, he died at 87. He still had mostly dark hair. Lucinda, maybe. I think he was eccentric. I mean, I think he asked the band to do things in sticks that they didn't want to do. And I think it was hard for them and that they don't want to go back and have any part of that anymore. Sometimes you can push people too far. But I think Dennis Young's probably a little eccentric, but I think he's very interesting. Jeff Brush, hello, John and all. Hey, Rick Storm, Jeff Brush. Don't forget Bill Champlin. Oh, yeah, I interviewed Bill Champlin. Thanks for letting me know. I forgot. Yes, I interviewed Bill Champlin, but he's not one of the original guys. And, we just heard that Walter Perezader was suffering from some sort of dementia. Toots, I don't think so. He's aged. He's younger than me, but he's aged. He's aged quite well. He's an incredibly talented guy. But yeah. Shannon's going to come and tell you a story about when we were in Winners one day.
What was that?
The little Chinese girl.
Oh, well, I was on the other side,
But you were still there when it was happening.
well, no, it was actually very cute because this little girl that was in the
Toy section.
Comes right up and.
By the
says-
way, the reason I was in the toy section because our autistic daughter likes
Let's
toys
look
still.
at books. And she says, hello, Mr. Arman, let me come and show you this dolly that I like. And she took his hand and proceeded to kind of bring him over to where her dolly was.
Which really creeped me out because I thought I'm going to get arrested now. I've just taken a stranger's hand in the toy section
but
of Winners.
so
She was
sweet.
really sweet.
But so sweet though, right?
Her mother was right there and she saw everything.
But you do show resemblance for sure.
I did a little bit before. Jeff Brush says, hi, Shannon.
Hi.
Lucinda Begg says, hi, Shannon. Sticks does
Hi.
Mr. Roboto live. They do Mr. Hi, Shannon. What's going on, Shannon?
Hi, thanks for joining us.
I wonder why the dog barks so much. You hold him all the time. I wonder if that's something there.
You're still going strong here. It's been, what, about an hour?
It's fun.
Oh, good.
I didn't release a video today, and I don't feel like editing one right now.
So it's nice to be able to really connect with everyone and just hang out.
Thank you. So just hanging out. But I'm starting to get a little fuzzy. I get fuzzy after a while.
Hi, Lucinda. Hi, Jeff.
Barry Bowman says doggy. Jeff Brush says, yeah, you already said that. You're a great couple. Thank you, Daniel. Toots, have a great story, John and Danica. Daniel says, congrats. Hi, Shani.
Hey.
Shani's going to start doing videos on the Nail Sheet channel
I am.
of the 80s, like sort of like best TV shows in the 80s, most controversial TV moments of the 80s. Lists do really well. Oh, here she comes.
I'm just going to go ahead and put another face to one of our channels. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I learned from the best here.
Yeah, right.
Didn't you once say I was the worst student you ever had?
You're the worst student. When we're doing Shannon and I used to host a morning show on the Rock History Book channel. And because Shannon can tell me to F off anytime she wants. She's really...
I would never tell you
What a potty
that.
mouth that girl has.
I would never tell you that.
I tell you, I thought, like, I used to, no one wants to see me. They want to see you, Shannon. They want to see you because you're good looking. David Clayton Thomas. Oh, yeah. Can you email me David Clayton Thomas?
Of
I could
course.
probably get David
Yeah.
Clayton Thomas.
You bet.
Yeah. He still lives in Toronto. As far as I know. Maybe he doesn't. My friend, the lady who helped me get a hold of George Benson years ago, Linda Nash, she was quite a character. Her sister was married to David Clayton Thomas for a while. Film stars? I don't know. I'd like to interview film stars. Prog Rock Dude says, hi, Shannon.
Hi.
Anyway, we've got a. She just texted me. I'm using my phone for this. Anyway, guys, sorry I'm getting the fuzzies. You ever do that when you're on the phone too long or at a Zoom call too long? When I have 2 interviews, sometimes 3 in a day, by the end of the day, I've got the real fuzzies. SCTV, Toots, yeah. Well, I lived in Edmonton when they first started filming that. We were always trying to see them. I never ran into any of them. Everyone's talking about Sticks. My friend, and I'm helping him with his YouTube channel, Greg Godovitz from Gatto, just interviewed, what's his name? Strange Animal? Larry Gowan. So I could probably get Larry. Larry lives right by him. He said Larry's lived in the same house all throughout these years. Same house. Never changed houses. Maria Day says, I get tired of talking and thinking sometimes. What's your comfort level asking for autos? I never ask for autographs, ever. It never happens. No. I remember Rick Emmett. I told Rick Emmett years ago, I said, I wish you could autograph my picture with you. He says, hey, send it to me. I'll autograph it. And then I interviewed Jesse Cook, because I'm in the picture with both of them. And I said, Jesse, come on, I've interviewed you several times. Would you do me a favor? And I would never ask for a mail-in autograph now. When I interviewed Randy Meisner, formerly of the Eagles and Poco, he asked me for my address at the end of the interview. He says, John, what's your address? And then he asked me, what's your favorite Eagles album? And at the time, it was One of These Nights. I love Hotel California, but there's just something about One of These Nights that is, I think it's the first album I ever bought. I'm not sure. Anyway. And downstairs, he wrote to John Beaudin of QMFM, thank you for whatever he wrote, John. And then he sent me an autographed picture. And he said, I think he said the same thing on it. Jimmy Stewart sent me an autographed picture. Premiere Magazine had a list of celebrities who write back, and Jimmy Stewart was there, and It's a Wonderful Life at the time was my favorite movie of all time. And I thought, well, they just printed this. I'm not going to write Jimmy Stewart right now because he's going to get bombarded. I waited 6 months and I wrote him. And in a month and a half, he wrote me back or something. And he just wrote to John. I'm not sure if he wrote James Stewart or Jimmy Stewart. I think he wrote Jimmy Stewart. And I've still got that someplace. It's in a book. It's downstairs. Greg Godovitz, the Canadian channel is really young, so we're not getting a lot of hits. But we've got Mike Levine will go on both channels from Triumph. We'll go on the Canadian channel and on the American channel. And Loverboy, we've got Mike Reno coming up. I keep saying we're going to do it this week. It's all finished. I just got to put it up. We've got Christopher Ward, the VJ, the guy who co-wrote Black Velvet on the Canadian channel coming up. Don Felder. Oh, I've got a... Shannon, can you text me Don Felder?
Yes.
I was asked to come back and circle back in a few months, so I'll ask. And I know the company that he works with, the promotions management company that he works with, we're very familiar with each other. We work with each other all the time. Okay, Jammer 894, get me an interview. Give him a call. Say I'd love to interview him. And on the about little tag above our channel, there's my email address right there. Circle the wagons, LOL. Yeah, that's a circle back. Anyway, guys, I've got to go. Eric Johnson, a guitar player, sent me an autographed photo for my 16th birthday. Wow. That's really nice when they do that. They really don't. That's a whole bunch of different steps to do that. Hockey players used to do that, right? Baseball players used to do that. I never ask anyone for autographs anymore. Barry, Jeff, thank you. Lucinda, Maria, Daniel. Adios, John. Thanks, guys. I'm just tired tonight. I'm going to have a frozen beer. How could I forget a beer? You know? Good night. Shannon, come say good night with your dog. Here she comes.
Good night, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thanks for hanging out with us. It's
Take
really
good
nice.
care.
We like bringing you into our home. Oh, here's the other dog.
Got them both here for you.
There you go. Guys, take good care of yourself, okay? Stay safe, please. We're almost out of this thing. Please stay safe.
Thank you so much.
Good night, guys. See ya.
Bye.
Take care.